On Thursday, the PGA Tour returns to arguably its most difficult test, the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill. The King's Tournament, as it is sometimes known, this week's field will have to contend with 7,466 yards of one of Florida's finest courses. Bay Hill is famous for its punishing rough, risk-reward waterholes like 4 and 6, long approach shots, and lightning-quick greens. It's a signature event, meaning a limited field of 72 of the world's best. A $20 million purse and 700 FedEx Cup points are up for grabs. The winner takes home $4 million. And with the Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass the following week, the momentum stakes could not be higher. The story of the Arnold Palmer Invitational begins not at Bay Hill, but across town at Reno Pinard Country Club, where the Florida Citrus Open Invitational first teed off in 1966. Arnold Palmer himself won that event in 1971, 8 years before he became its host. The pivotal moment came in 1965, when Palmer visited Bay Hill to play a charity exhibition. He shot 66 that day, tied the course record, and famously told his wife Winnie afterwards that he had just played the best golf course in Florida. He signed a 5-year lease to own the course in 1970, exercised an option to buy in 75, and in 1979 he had brought the PGA Tour with him. The tournament went through several names over the years: the Bay Hill Classic, the Nestle Invitational, before officially being renamed Arnold Palmer Invitational in 2007 in honour of the King's legacy. And what a legacy it's been here. Tiger Woods won a record 8 times, including 4 in a row between 2000 and 2003. His 2003 win, played through overnight food poisoning and an all-day downpour, is one of the most remarkable performances in tour history. An 11-shot victory and one of the biggest winning margins in the tournament's history. Other champions here include Jack Nicklaus, Sam Snead, Ernie Els, and of course Rory McIlroy, who birdied 5 of his last 6 holes for a closing 64 to claim the title in 2018. Arnold Palmer remained closely connected to Bay Hill until his passing in 2016, regularly appearing during tournament week to greet players and fans alike. The winner this year is presented with a trademark red cardigan, a fitting tribute to Palmer. Bay Hill plays as a par 72 at 7,466 yards and consistently ranks as one of the toughest venues on the PGA Tour. It's the only course to rank in the top 10 in difficulty for each of the last 5 seasons, and the forecast this week is for warm, dry conditions, meaning firmer and faster surfaces as the week progresses. The course demands precision over power. The fairways are narrow, the rough is penal, and the greens run quick. The risk-reward par 5s at the 4th and 6th holes can make or break a round, and the closing 18th, a long par 4 requiring a demanding approach over water, has decided more than a few tournaments over the years. What's interesting about Bay Hill is that it doesn't reward just one type of player. You'll find bombers and ball strikers, grinders and short game wizards on the winners list. But what's the one consistent thread? Course history. It matters here more than almost anywhere else on the tour. 8 of the last 9 winners have recorded a top 15 finish at this event before they eventually won it. If you want a single number to frame how to think about this week, it's strokes gained approaching the green. At Bay Hill, this is the most single predictive metric for performance, more so than off the tee, more so than putting. The long demanding approach shots into firm, fast greens punish anything short of a precise strike. The top 5 in strokes gained approach this season are very much worth cross-referencing with this field. If they also have a strong course history, you have your contenders. It's an exceptionally strong field this week. All of the world's top 10 feature. In fact, 18 of the top 20 in the OWGR are in this field. It's a reminder of just how prestigious this event has become since its designation as a signature event in 2024. Scottie Scheffler, world number 1 and the standout favourite. Scheffler has won at Bay Hill in 2 of his last 4 starts here. His game is perfectly suited to the precision-demanding fairways and greens of Arnold's course. The one question mark people will have going into this week is his first round scoring. He's made an uncharacteristic habit of slow Thursday starts in recent events. If he goes low on day 1, it could be a very long week for the rest of the field. Rory McIlroy. Rory comes into Bay Hill hoping to build on his early season form and to follow up on his commanding 2018 victory here. The Northern Irishman finished second at the Genesis Invitational, a strong signal that his game is in fine shape. Bay Hill could expose the one area of the game, though, that's been a concern for Rory this season: its accuracy off the tee. He currently sits towards the bottom of the tour rankings for fairways found, and Bay Hill's unforgiving rough will punish any of his wayward drives. He obviously has the game to win here. The question is whether the driver cooperates. Russell Henley, the defending champion. Henley is a golfer's golfer, a player who places a premium on precision ball striking and clinical short game. Last year, he produced one of the moments of the season, holding a chip-in eagle on the par 5 16th to snatch the title from Collin Morikawa by just a single shot. He's coming off a missed cut at the Genesis, which is rare for him, but he has 3 top 20 finishes in his other 3 starts this season. A 4th place finish in 2024 and a tie for 13th in 22 round out a strong recent record here. He obviously won't overpower Bay Hill, but he might not need to. Collin Morikawa, fresh off his first win in nearly 3 years at Pebble Beach last month and a tie for 7th at Riviera the following week, Morikawa arrives at Bay Hill with real momentum and arguably the man in form. Morikawa has unfinished business here. He was the man Henley pipped last year, watching that chip-in eagle from just yards away. His refined, slightly steeper swing produces elite iron play, and Bay Hill's long approach shots are tailor-made for someone like him. Should his putter show up this week, he is arguably the most complete fit for the golf course in the entire field. Tommy Fleetwood. Tommy arrives in strong form following a T4 at Pebble Beach and a T7 at Riviera. The Englishman is quietly one of the most underrated players for this course. He ranks among the best on tour this season in par 5 scoring, scrambling and importantly, bogey avoidance. Exactly the profile of a Bay Hill winner. A win this week will be a major statement. Matt Fitzpatrick. 4 top 10 finishes across 11 career appearances at Bay Hill tell their own story. The Sheffield man brings some of the strongest iron play metrics in the field, and Bay Hill's demand for long, precise approach shots is perfectly suited to his game. Whether the flat stick cooperates will be the difference between contention and frustration. There are 2 players returning from injury this week who are worth a mention. Justin Thomas returns this week for the first start since the Ryder Cup last September, coming back from microdiscectomy surgery on his back. He played TGL last week, where apparently he was clocking 175 miles an hour ball speed, which would be plenty to complete if the rest of the game has held up through rehab. He's a huge unknown, but he's worth keeping an eye on. The other starter is Sung Jae Im. He returns from a wrist injury for the first start of the season. Bay Hill would historically suit him, but it might not be his week this week. The sleeper pick this week is Sepp Straka. The Austrian quietly put together one of the more consistent seasons on tour last year, and his ball striking profile is a strong fit for Bay Hill. He doesn't always get up the headlines, but he does have a habit of showing up at the right venues at the right time. For those who bet, Scheffler will likely be priced somewhere around 4 or 5 to 1, which does reflect his status as the dominant player in the world, but I don't think is enormous value given the quality of the field. Morikawa feels like the more interesting pick for this course. Other options, as I say, could be Fitzpatrick, Fleetwood, or perhaps Straka. Things to watch. Beyond the winner, keep an eye on Scheffler. If he can shake off the slow Thursday starts, then it might be curtains for the rest of the field before the tournament's even got going. Thursday isn't often the most interesting day of a golf tournament, but with Scheffler playing, it might be worth watching. Otherwise, check the weather. As I mentioned, conditions shape everything at Bay Hill, and we've seen weekend winds turn this tournament on its head before. I'd also keep an eye on the cut line. It's finished over par in a majority of the recent editions here, a reminder that Bay Hill takes no prisoners, regardless of what's on the CV. That's the preview for this year's 2026 Arnold Palmer Invitational. Check back in Friday for the weekend cuts and for Sunday for a post-tournament review.